JP.
And I'm CP, and welcome back to our E3 discussion 2017. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Bethesda's conference. It was bad. Like, legitimately bad.
It was awful.
It was probably one of the worst ones I've seen in a few years, honestly. It was actually bad. Well, your thoughts?
I guess I just hope that means they were working really hard on something else.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, is that there was pretty much nothing new. Like, I think there were 2 new games. Evil Within, which I'm sure someone cares about Evil Within, just not me. And Wolfenstein 2, that looks genuinely good. I thought it was kind of funny that the first thing they opened with are their kids. Like, hi, we're the kids of these people that work here. We love our parents. Please don't be mean to them. That's basically what it looked like.
Yeah, I don't like. That's a whole presentation, though.
Yeah, that whole Bethesda Land thing.
Like, it made me feel as though they were talking to us as though
they were like talking
kids.
down to you. Yeah, I did kind of get that vibe a little bit. Now that you mention it,
I think that style kind of harkens to the whole Fallout thing, the kind of like old school.
I guess, but it legitimately felt like, we know you love our stuff, so here's more of the same stuff. Like, literally, like Skyrim is coming out for VR so that they can sell it so that Todd Howard
Which is cool, but are we going to get it? Probably.
Well,
Probably not. I don't
to be
like
honest
VR.
with you, no, I don't think it's cool. Like, it doesn't look good on VR to me. The graphics are down, or the graphics on the VR, I think look worse than they did on the Xbox 360.
They probably aren't as good. Because I think we've got still generally smaller resolutions on those headsets and stuff like that. But what I do think is cool is that they're trying to embrace it.
Okay.
And you got to have content, even if it's something that already exists.
Yeah.
You know, so Fallout, Doom, Skyrim, all that
Doom
stuff.
Looked a little
I'm glad that they're embracing it. I feel like it's hard to show the experience when you're displaying those screenshots or the screen capture on a flat screen.
Yeah.
We don't know what it's going to look like in there. I've never even had a headset on, so
It actually occurs to me, we're talking about Skyrim for VR, and that actually wasn't mentioned in Bethesda's conference. I forgot. It was Fallout that was mentioned in Bethesda's
Fallout.
Yeah, Skyrim was mentioned in Sony's, but whatever, I digress. So it opens up, Pete Hines comes out on stage, and dude, like, we thought that Jesse was weird from EA's conference. Pete Hines just came out there, and he's like blubbering, like, okay, I'm really happy to be here, and I hope you guys enjoy the conference. Okay, bye.
Please
and
me.
And then he just walks away. He doesn't
too much coffee.
And the rest, no, not even. Like, he looked legitimately nervous.
He knew that was going to be bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he knew, like, okay, there's not really
after
a
seeing
lot of
Microsoft
reason.
and EA's.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I feel like he was like, okay, there's really not a whole lot to show you here, and so
They shouldn't have been there then.
Well, we'll talk about that. So, and then, like, the rest of the conference is literally just a pre-rendered video. And that is a good point. Like, why would you have a whole conference if it's just going to be a pre-rendered video? I guess
there's another company we could ask that question, but
That is true.
I guess, like, we could, I guess that, I get what they're trying to do with that whole Bethesda Land thing, and they played on nostalgia quite a bit with this one. Like, every other game, like I said, the only 2 new games were Wolfenstein and Evil Within 2. Here's an expansion for Elder Scrolls Legends.
Online.
And here's something new for online. I will say this, though. I'm excited for Dishonored, Death of the Outsider.
That looks good.
Well, remember, I'm actually invested into the Dishonored series. Like, I am a big, big fan of Dishonored. I like everything that it has to do with. I even read the books. So
I haven't finished number 2 yet.
Yeah.
I watched them play it.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I like the idea of, like, I like the idea of the outsider who's, like, one of the main people in this whole thing, this really important figure that's set up. If you played the games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're gonna go try and kill him. I'm just that premise on its own is interesting enough for me to get.
He does seem unassailable, so yeah, that could be interesting.
My question is this gonna be, like, I'm assuming it's DLC. Is it DLC, do you think, or do you think it's like its own series?
I think so.
Like a free... it said expansion.
It said expansion?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
I wasn't sure about that. I thought maybe it might... Like, someone had pointed out, oh, is this a DLC pack or? But then there you go. There's another thing. Like,
it wasn't clear.
It wasn't
clear. I'm sure I saw expansion.
Yeah. It just seems like it should be a DLC pack. If it is its own game, I'm not going to complain, and I'll pay $60 as long as it's worth it. But I'm not really sure if I can say who won E3 just yet, but I can definitely objectively say who lost
Bethesda.
E3.
Yeah.
Bethesda.
But not all of it was bad. We had like the pre-run, like in that video that they showed off. We had like that little creative thing with the old-timey commercial.
That is true. The whole little like Bethesda land thing. Like, while I'm definitely critical of it, it was cute.
Yeah, it was cute, but again, it made me feel as though they were talking to us as if we were children.
Yeah, like just kind of talking down to us.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, and that seems to be the general consensus online too, is that Bethesda's was the weakest one.
Yeah,
I really do like, and I guess it's also just coming off the heels of like their first E3 conference a couple years ago. When they announced Fallout 4 and how they just completely dropped the mic with that one. Mm-hmm. And then the next one,
that
like
was exciting.
The past one, like the one last year, was actually pretty decent too. It was fair. So to have them just come out here and pretty much just make a little Nintendo Direct, pretty much, I don't know. I was disappointed. I'm a big Bethesda guy.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So overall, I'm just hoping that we didn't get that new. Bethesda's working on some new IP right now. We didn't get any word on that. I would have liked just something.
Yeah,
like that.
I think people wanted a teaser.
Because what got me is that there's even this like little specific part where they're like, we have lots of great attractions up, and like it's like a little park, but look what we have under construction, and it shows it being like built, and they show us Evil Within 2, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which I'll
even a logo would have been nice.
Yeah. Or just some like little title, just like, here's what's happening. We don't even need to give you any info on it. Just know that it's in the works. I don't know why they didn't do that, but I will say though, Wolfenstein 2.
Wolfenstein,
it looks cool. As someone who didn't I know I'm in the minority on this one. My first time with Wolfenstein New Order, I actually didn't really like it.
Never played it.
It wasn't that interesting to me. I actually found it kind of generic.
I didn't really.
And then the second one, like this new one, I feel like that's like someone out there probably heard my complaint or something, because like it's anything but generic now. You have like some guy who's tripping acid while he goes fights Nazis. Like that's you can't really call that unoriginal. You have like this whole interesting sort of like comedic vibe to it. So I don't know. It looks more unique is what I'm trying to get at.
I wasn't impressed though in particular, so I don't think I can really go higher than maybe a 3, and that's just because I am supportive of the whole VR thing, and I want to see it succeed so that it gets to the price point where I can afford one, and then, yeah, we can support that kind of thing. So, yeah, a 3, mostly because of that.
Okay.
I'm honestly thinking that it is a 3 as well. I personally, I just didn't find anything interesting there. But, again, I found the little commercial Bethesda Land. I found that cute and interesting, but besides that, besides Wolfenstein, nothing really caught my eye.
And I'm actually I'm gonna be different from you guys again, but I'm gonna go on the opposite spectrum. I'm gonna give it a 4 this time. Maybe that's just me kind of being a bit of a fanboy, but I'm giving it a 4 mainly because yes, it was low effort. Yes, it was definitely like the least interesting thing we saw at E3. Not a lot to talk about, but I will give it that extra point because I am excited. I am genuinely excited for Dishonored, and I'm genuinely interested in Wolfenstein 2. And for them to be able to take me from being someone who didn't like the Wolfenstein first game and make me interested in it, points to that. And I'll give them some points for creativity on the little video, even though I don't think it warranted a whole conference. Overall, the whole thing just felt like it was a
lackluster.
It felt like it was just there for the sake of being there.
Yeah, they probably just needed to show up and have a presence.
Most of this stuff, I feel like they could have just shown at other points. I mean, again, they showed that Skyrim VR thing at Sony's. Sony had a whole VR segment. They could have shown the other 2 VR games there. They could have just given Bethesda working on VR, and that would have worked. I don't think that they really needed to having a whole conference this year. There just wasn't a lot for it.
Well, and also coming off the heels of Prey, like the game that recently came out by that's right.
Yeah.
That's Arcane Studios. Yeah.
They just came off the heels of working on that, and I think it did pretty well.
Yeah. Well, it was received well by critics.
So yeah. Just coming off the heels of that, they probably didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, so there's our thoughts about Bethesda's conference. Hold on, Emily, where are we at?
12 minutes.
Okay.
9 seconds.
Okay. So those are our thoughts about Bethesda's conference. Next one's gonna be Sony. If you haven't caught yet, we're going in order from like just when they happened. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and we'll see you in the next video.
Until then, I'm TJ.
I'm JP.
And I'm CP, and I'll see you next time on our